All right, I am waiting for the click. I am waiting for the click. See how this works out. Click, the click. There's the click. Okay, great. Hey, you guys, it's me, Donovan. I am trying this thing out. What I did today was I was supposed to go to Hawaii military transport out of Naval Air Station North Island. There was 100 seats going to Hawaii. I was supposed to go, but then yesterday you get the alert that there might be a tsunami coming, and I was like, I don't think I want to, not knowing what's happening. I don't think I want to fly into a situation that might be worse if it actually, came on. Land and all that other stuff, right? So I said, no, I'm going to hold off on that. But the good news is there's 50 seats leaving, I think, Friday. There's 50 seats to MCAS Kanoe Bay. And that Marine Corps base is beautiful. I'm kind of embarrassed, you guys, because the Air Force, being a newer branch, we were so much, more advanced and newer than the other branches. The Marine Corps and the Navy now, because their facilities had been antiquated for so long, their bases look better than ours now. It's crazy. And I know you guys are probably seeing this camera. What I did was I'm trying to consolidate all my stuff, right? And I'm not going to be one of those people that just keeps living and living and living, right? Well, we're not all going to live. But I don't want to accumulate junk. I am just shocked at the junk I've accumulated since I retired. So what I'm trying to do is things I'm not using, I'm getting rid of. Now, those of us that were in the military, your military orders, your medical records, your awards and decks, things that are important that you can scan, I've done all that. I've scanned all that stuff into systems, and so I got them on a nice little hard drive. Matter of fact, it's an old hard drive, but this is a 6 gigabyte. All my insurance, my medical, music, flight, everything. If I was to leave this world tomorrow, my family, all they have to do is go into the safe. All the documents are here. And within this digital world, I've also put, labels on the folders, right? So if you want to, in my car, it'll say automobile, you go into there, and it has all the insurance, all the registration, everything I need. So instead of having those boxes of, military orders and stuff, I got rid of all that, And I think the rule is 10 years. Because I flew cargo, there were certain things in the mail by law I had to keep for 10 years, and that's long been gone, right? But all my important documents, all my diplomas, my education, my transcripts, everything is in here. Pictures, family pictures, they're all in this drive. This is a 6 gigabyte. It's old. I know you guys are like, I don't know what the hell he's got. But it's an old one. But it has everything I need. And not only did I put it in the hard drive, because we know that the hard drive could be corrupted, I burned them on DVD. You can't get wrong with a hard copy on DVD. And I would rather have 200 DVDs with important documents that can go down to the next generation. Those of you guys that know me, I'm a very organized person. So what I did today was I took my all-in-one desktop and I put it in the front where I usually am hanging out, and then I put this computer, which is my main computer, in the back room. And this is where I do my videos and stuff. And so the camera is pretty old, and this is a computer I built myself. So I have a affinity to this particular computer. So my biggest thing is that you guys can hear me. I know it's probably pixelating and it doesn't look as good as that other camera did on the other one, but I'm using an older monitor where you have to use an external camera, because now everything is in the monitor and it's all upgraded, 50 pixels or more and all that other stuff. But my thing is, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I'm gonna ride this out until I can't use it anymore, because this is really my gaming computer. So this is where I do my Microsoft flight simulators. And I've got a bunch of hard drives in there, because Microsoft Flight Simulator is taking up a lot of memory, in space. And I got my stuff in here. So anyway, how many of you guys have heard here in California, they just ruled the background check for ammunition? I know you guys live in other states like, what the hell's going on in California? California's jacked up. If you buy ammunition in California, you are subjected to a background check. And that background check costs $1. So every time you buy ammunition, it's $1. The Ninth Circuit has recently ruled that unconstitutional. And so what does that mean? So basically like this, where you guys that live in the great state of Texas and Louisiana and all these, great states where hunting and fishing and, freedom really reigns, I could not buy ammunition in bulk from other states. Other states will not ship into the United States or whatever, right? So what this ruling does, it will break down the wall to where Californians can buy in bulk out-of-state ammo. Right now in California, you can't buy ammo. So for all my California friends in the great state of Arizona, I love Arizona, but even though you can't even ship from Arizona, that's how terrible it is. But what I'm trying to say is, for my friends that are here, even though that ruling has happened, and I know people are excited and they want to order and stuff, the California DOJ has said that until this ruling is issued and written out, they're still going to enforce the unconstitutional banning of background checks and ammunition. So even though the Ninth Circuit has ruled it unconstitutional, the California DOJ is going to continue to enforce it until, and this is layman's terms for me, it's in written form and issued out as a decree, right? It's written in law. Even though they've made an announcement, it is unconstitutional, and it's been unconstitutional, and that's what a lot of the groups have been fighting for. That's where we're at with that. So so those are my friends here in California. Please be careful, ordering or getting overzealous, whatever. The California DOJ, the tyranny in California still goes on. And I know you guys that live in other states are like, what? California, as liberal as it is, right? They don't believe in freedom. This is what I've been trying to tell you guys on my show. California is not what you guys think it is. And this is a super democratic state. The liberals, woman's right to choose. If I want to kill my children, I could kill my children. But going through the court system, they just ruled background checks on ammunition unconstitutional. In California, you can't even get certain weapons that other states freely allow. And they talk about freedom in the liberals of California. California is not liberal. It's liberal in name, but it's very tyrannical. It's very tyrannical. So if you guys are interested in that, look it up. It's a ruling. I think it's Bond versus something. But just Google California ruling background checks and ammunition. But to my California buddies, don't go crazy with this. The DOJ is still going to enforce the unconstitutional rule. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's where we're at. What else is going on? It's super heat around the nation. It is July 30th, so we're coming out of the month. I got to run some errands there. A lot of my friends that are recuperating, going to be checking on you guys. It's about your attitude. I have leukemia, as everybody knows. I have no problem, disclosing that. It's no big secret. Everybody gets it. A lot of people have it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is still living, and he was diagnosed with leukemia over 20 years ago. Magic Johnson, he has HIV, and that was over 30 years ago, and he's still living to this very day. So I just want to encourage people. It's about your attitude. Having a positive attitude. When you are gloom and doom all the time, that takes a wear on your body. It's a signal in your mind that you're giving to the rest of your body. And there'll be some days I don't want to go to the gym, and the hardest part is getting to the gym. So once you get there, you're going to work out because you're already there. I only go for an hour a day, and I like the results. I like it when I'm there or whatever, but sometimes, I look at stuff like Benny will do something. I'm like, oh, I'll go do it with Benny. And at our age, staying active is very important. We don't heal like we did when we were younger. If you guys have animals, a lot of you guys do, 20 minutes of walking your dog. The one thing I can say about Benny is he forces me to do cardio and walking, and I walk him about a mile every day, right? Sometimes I'll take him out twice, and it'll make me walk and stuff and look at my neighborhood, see what's going on. And if you have an animal, take them for a walk, and that helps, with moving around and stuff. Other than that, there's really not much else I want to say, but I do want to encourage my friends, get on the mend, stay prayed up, change your diet if you have a very, very poor diet. But if you do have a poor diet, just go work out. Sometimes your body, regardless of what the doctor gives you, might not recover in the way that the doctor wants you to. Like I have high cholesterol, right? I've been skinny all my life, but that's something that's hereditary. And I've got to control the high cholesterol or I'm going to have a heart attack, right? And my numbers are going up, even though I'm doing everything that the doctor tells me to do. Now, I've never had a heart attack before. I heard that they are no joke, depending on the severity. I am allergic to pain, severely allergic to pain. And I've been praying on that. The doctors, only thing that he could really do, and I hate being on, all these pills and stuff, is up the dose to prevent me from having, a higher level of a heart attack or to stave it off. And I've been thinking about that for the last couple of days, and which is another reason why I'm kind of consolidating everything in my home, because one day I'm going to leave this planet. We're all going to leave. But when that day comes, I don't want my family to have to look and find and dig and and go get this and go get that. I don't want them to do that. Everything is in that hard drive that they're going to need. And I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm sure you guys are very aware of it. When you guys post pictures of your kids and your grandkids, and you guys enjoying your grandkids from the time that even the old pictures when we were younger in high school and grade school and stuff, I copy those pictures and I keep them for myself and I archive them for myself because priceless. They're just priceless. And remember, when we were growing up, a lot of pictures fade away, so you're never going to see those pictures ever again. But I look at those pictures, and that is positive for me when I see you guys' legacies moving on and getting older. And, it makes me wonder, what happened? We were that age. What happened? Why? Time is just flying. And it's just amazing to me that, you see the grandkids. Some of you guys got great grandchildren. And you just see the legacy continues. And I look back to when we were younger, and I look at the young people, and I look at them, and I really look at their faces, and I see the innocence of everything, because we protect them from everything, right? They didn't have to struggle as much as maybe some of us did. But I look at their innocence in their faces, and I'm just like, man, I used to be like that. Then I started learning the world, when you leave the protection of your parents and you venture out into the world, it's just, to me, it's amazing how tainted you get when you're in the real world. And sometimes I sit and I wish I could go back and just, to go back and hear my mom holler and scream about my brother and I just eating up the food because it's there. Going into the refrigerator and there's food and I didn't have to pay a dime, the little chores my mom asked me to do. That was nothing for free room and board, My mom's rule was be a good student, the best that you can. Do what she asks you to do around the house, your chores and stuff, and and basically stay out of trouble. That was it. That was it. So yeah. So attitude is the biggest thing, you guys. So if you guys are going through some stuff, doctor told me attitude plays a big role in what you go through. So try to stay positive. I know the world is very negative. People are negative. People say I'm negative, even though I say I'm a realist. But look to the positive, Just look to the positive. It'll be okay. One day, God is going to turn the light out on this planet. And it doesn't matter how many toys, how big a car you got, how big a house you got. It doesn't matter. We're all going to be standing in judgment together. Anyway, just wanted to give you guys that hit up. Later on, if you guys are interested, Demetra K and the Money Man Walter will be on her show later on, All Money In, as one of the things Walter would say. And I get a lot of tips from him. Walter is a financial advisor. He used to be the financial advisor for Kanye West and a lot of people that have a lot of money. And I've taken some of his advice, and I'm telling you, it's worked for me as well in a lot of situations. So as you guys see, I'm getting my stubble here, and I'm going to need to go shave my head because it is hot out here in the desert. So you guys have a great day. Be blessed. I will talk to you later. Give me some feedback on this camera. I know it's cartoonish or it's really pixelated, but I kind of like that because it reminds me of the old days. And also, I have been living in the 90s. I've been playing Doom, Duke Nukem, TFX, all the games I liked in the 90s. There's a guy in eBay. He has a store, and he does emulations of old games. And so how many of you guys remember when Prince came out with a PC game? It was called Prince Interactive. Do you know how much that game is worth right now? And guess who has both copies of it? I have the Windows copy and I have the Apple copy. And if you remember the game, you would go to Prince's house and you would just like interactive, and sometimes you'll get like new music and you'll see Prince performing and you'll get these little things. It's an awesome disc, and I have it. And I've just been living the 90s, playing games that I was really good at in the 90s. And of course, I got my Atari. I've got my Activision games that I still play. And because, I'm mostly a flight simulator guy now. I don't really play games that they have today. It's too traumatic for me. And too many damn buttons. I'm not coordinated enough to do it. But I just went back to the 90s and played the games that I like to play. So, yeah, GoldenEye, those type games, the first shoot 'em ups and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, anyway, you guys, have a great day. Be blessed and enjoy those grandchildren.